Raiders, I just want to give you some quick Raid Shadow Legends tips that no one else is giving you. I am an early game account, so I know exactly what this is like. I know a lot of content creators are end and late and end game players, so we're going to tell you how and what to do if you're early game, things to focus on that people aren't telling you. The first and easiest thing to know to focus on is you want your mystery shards. Getting mystery shards is really, really great. You're going to use your 3 a day for your dailies, right? But what you're really saving them up for, you're even going to buy them here in the market as they show up. Please note, I buy mystery shard because eventually you're going to have a champion chase tournament, a tournament that's going to get you a major champion, and 1,000 mystic shards equals one sacred shard. So I have four more sacred shards than it looks like if I absolutely need to, probably more like three. It will take forever, but the amount of money and time it saves you overall is absolutely insanely good. Super useful stuff. Make sure you are collecting your mystery shards and saving them. The next thing is there is, and this is stolen directly from Cobb. There is a time to do everything in Raid Shadow Legends. You want to make sure that you are using your time wisely, making sure that you are like specifically doing things when you get double value. You are not doing upgrades of champions unless it's CVC or there's a tournament happening. Even your Great Hall is specifically for CVC. Almost everything within the game has a specific tournament or event that goes with it. Save your stuff, be patient. You can see right now that I am holding off on the Pelops fusion because there is a champion chase tournament coming. I'm going to fuse that Pelops and get the points in champion chase for it. That kind of thing is hugely, hugely valuable. There's even repeatable summons. Like if I needed to, if I was really short on materials, I could easily and very quickly get these rares up to snuff and fuse for an extra like a few hundred points, an extra relic keeper that I could then use as food for bullshit because relic keeper sucks. But that is one of the main things to do. Next up, please stop pulling your mortal, immortal, and eternal soul stones. Save these. These are a ridiculously useful resource, and it's really hard to not pull them when there's this awakening boost because I really, really, really want to hit Newt on my wish list with a 6 star or Predator with a better soul, and it hurts so bad. However, there's these things called Deck of Fates. There this one still active? There's these Verdant Deck of Fates, except that sometimes these come with heroes. Sometimes these come with champions, and when they come with champions, they're insane. The last two Deck of Fate champions they released, I'm going to show you who they are. If you've been playing Raid long enough to recognize these champions, you'll recognize how good they are. The first two Deck of Fates ago was Donatello, limited time champion, arguably the best turtle, who has a ridiculous kit that includes a heal with continuous heal, a decreased cooldown of all ally skills, and a hit continuous heal and strengthen, along with a passive that lets everyone join the attack and prevents death at fatal hits. So Donatello is one of, if not the best turtle, fighting it out with Leonardo for that honor. And one of the guaranteed way to get him with is a deck of fate. The other one right around Christmas as a deck of fate guaranteed champion was was a dwarf legendary who I don't own, but I'd really like to own. I don't have Kira anymore. Why does this game think I have Kira? I had Kira. Kira became Lady Mikage, friends. Hilvi, who is a speed lead, who also has a revive, block damage, increased speed, a decreased defense, on the A1, a remove all buffs and freeze on enemies, and then a passive whenever an enemy receives a freeze, also burns them. Just disgusting champion, one of the best in the game. One I didn't realize Deck of Fates were a thing. I was still like only 3 months in last when this happened. I started like when Donatello was the Deck of Fate, so like I didn't have enough to do this, and I've been saving since. I'm not getting caught on numbers again. I'm gonna get an amazing champion. As much as I really, really want those souls, I'm gonna be patient and do it. The next thing is make sure you're doing your free stuff every day. So you need to be doing arena every day. As much as arena is often annoying, especially early game, my arena team has now become utterly nasty. I've got I got Commodus about 6 months in. I started playing in July. July to December is 5. It's March, 8 months, about 8 months in. I've got Commodus, I've got Armands, and I've got Fabian, and I got Sanguine Maria. So I've got enough to really get going. I would really like some souls again on these champions. But what are you gonna do on that with that for now? So you just got to be patient. This is a game of patience. I guess that's the big tip. This is a game of patience. When you have to be, but you really, really do want that. One of the best ways to increase the power of your account, one of the best ways to increase the power of your account is to fill up your Great Hall. Um, you're going to want to at first make sure that you're targeting one or two areas because there are these things. I'll show you where to find them called arbiter missions. They're going to give you a very, very important free legendary champion under the missions tab. Arbiter missions are completed, so I can't show you mine, but you're going to need to fill up great halls. You're going to want to like save up and focus on great hall that way, and then you're going to want to try and just increase your account. You should know where your important champions are, raise them up first, and go that way. You'll note I wanted some extra damage. I'm trying to I can survive all 50 turns against clan boss, but I'm dealing like 3,000 damage too little. It's ridiculously annoying. But the important part is clan boss is the most important part of the game to focus your early game progress on. You're going to get some good materials from the early clan bosses, right? Nothing amazing, but extra sacred shards are extra sorry, ancient shards are nice. Um some decent materials as you move up, the materials get better. Right now, we can get void shards, which are insanely important, and epic books. Epics are the main way you increase your account early on. Then you're going to get again same thing here. As we move up into hard, we get up to brutal. Now we're starting to really cook, right? We're like a really good chance at void shards and epic books. We keep going, and when we get to nightmare and ultra nightmare, that's when the money happens. That's when our stuff is made. You want to finish this every day because you have a chance at sacred shards and legendary skill tomes, which are basically unfarmable anywhere else in the game. So you're going to want ultra nightmare to happen that way. And by the way, if you're like starting and you're like, I wish I knew all this stuff, oh my god, and you're still relatively new, what you do is you restart the game. I mean, you don't have to restart the game, but like one of the things you can do, because you can get Pel Ups for free as a new player if you use one of the new player codes just by typing in Raid 7 here. You're going to get Pel Ups, who's going to give you this amazing start into Clan Boss. And then if you use my code epyre.com/snap, epyre.com/snap, you're going to get I don't know why I always click there first, but you're going to be able to get a free legendary that goes amazingly well with Ezio. And there's only 2 weeks left of Ezio, so like get on that. But you're going to be able to get Narma the Return, who has poison sensitivity, poison activate, at poison sensitivity, poison activate, decrease attack, leech, basically everything you need for that clan boss to really, really get going. You're also going to end up, you're going to have Pelops, you're going to have Narma, you're going to have Ezio, and that's three ridiculous legendary champions to start. My code is also going to give you Seeker for leveling up, Venomage for leveling up, and Tyrell for leveling up. So it's built specifically. I personally built it hyper specifically to handle clan boss to give you the best start possible. All right, that's the main tips I have. Other main tips. So the first thing you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to build clan boss teams, right? You're going to go as far as like fighting enemies. You're going to build clan boss teams to try and get as far as you can in Demon Lord. That is your main thing. You're going to have a decent arena team. Make sure you don't go into platinum for arena. Platinum will absolutely wreck you. I will just chill at gold 5 for the next few months. Um, and just hang out there. Make sure you're doing that to fill your great hall. Those are priorities 1 and 2. Um, Doom Tower, Siege, Grim Forest, all that stuff is nice. Cursed City, all that stuff is really nice. Make sure you're doing your faction wars every day. You do need the gems, but that's not your priority. What faction wars really does is it gives you all these goodies at the bottom. Until you're much later, I still can't clear it all the way. And then the other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you are Minotaur's lab is how you level up. Sorry, we'll get there. We'll come back to that one second. You want to start trying to get to level 20, the best place to farm each of the 4 core dungeons, those being Icicle Sea, Spider's Den, Dragon's Lair, and Fire Knight Castle. You need specific things for each of those. We'll do a video going over them, but you want to figure out what heroes are good for those. You can use Hell Hades, you can use various content creators. Again, we'll do that video soon of what you want to bring into stage 20 of these bosses, and you're going to go for that. Now the second you get a champion to 5 stars, whether it be a rare that you want to build for some reason, try not to build rares, um, a epic or a legendary, you're going to start them in Minotaur's lab. and you're going to run the crap out of Minotaur's Lab. What Minotaur's Lab is going to do is it's going to give you books for masteries. I'm assuming you know this, but if you don't, it's a thing that's easy to miss. Masteries are one of the most important things you can have on your champion. It gives you all these bonuses. You can use Hell Hades to tell you what masteries to do, but read them, think about them, know what your champions do. Oh, God, a thing that one of my friends messed up on. So, boop, 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 you can see the skills here, right? Sanguine Maria's skills are based on attack. Leonardo's skills are based on defense. Don't put attack gear on him. You want defense based gear. You want max crit rate and crit damage and speed, right? Speed is the most important. Then usually accuracy. And then crit rate, crit damage, crit rate to 100, crit damage as high as you can, and then their base stat. What's my Commodus based on? Oh, HP. So we need HP based stuff there. See what I mean? All good? Other minor things. Generally speaking, you want to fully book someone before you do anything else with them. I Mythic books are hard to come by, so I don't fully book Commodus. Instead, I fully booked his alternate form, which I get more use out of as fully booked. Leonardo, however, fully booked, right? Sometimes you can get lucky. Where is my Geomancer? Sometimes you'll get very lucky. Geomancer, I never bothered to finish booking. I had that 5% chance is nice for decreased accuracy, but I hit the more important skills. There's some people that happens with. You're perfectly happy when it does. More often than not, you want to book one champion at a time, fully book them, and then move on. Cool. That is, I think, enough tips for this video, and we will give you a bunch more. We're going to show you the best heroes to take into these modes later. Thanks for watching. I hope these tips helped you. Let me know if you have any in the comments or if any of these helped you in particular. Peace.